Electronics, if you fished much, we know have come so far in the last decade. The original days of a paper graph or just a flasher are long gone. Now you've got big screens and detail that is unmatched, unparalleled. Navigation systems that will help you find offshore structure faster than ever, and the ability to see things live, and that to me is one of the most unique changes in electronics and fishing that has really hit the stage in the last few years. Now we've got LiveScope. And Garmin's LiveScope, I mean, you literally can see detail that is unparalleled. You can watch the littlest baits go down. You can watch the littlest fish take those baits. Whether you're an ice fisherman, an offshore fisherman, or a bass fisherman, or a crappie fisherman, the detail that it provides is just unbelievable. And it's as simple as just touching the screen like I did right there to mark things and to locate pieces of structure, navigate back to them, drop your trolling motor down, and present a cast at those locations. What I'm going to do is use my 8616 that is networked to my 8612 up front. And once I sit down on a brush pile, I'm going to use anchor lock on my Garmin Force to hold us in position, but I'm going to come back here on this bigger screen and we're going to record directly from that unit so that you'll be able to see all the different buttons and all the ways that we go through the menus to set up our LiveScope for a day of fishing. What you're looking at right now is a big brush pile underneath the trolling motor. Actually, we are networked our 8612 to our 8616, and we're sitting back here because it'll make a little easier screen for us to work off of for the recordings and the menus to be able to show what all we're doing. One of the first things that I like to do when I'm using LiveScope is I'm gonna look at my distance. Right now, if you're looking at the screen, you can see I'm out to 60 feet. And you can tell that by the numbers at the top. And when I'm searching, I like about 60 to 80 feet a lot of times to be able to identify targets that are a cast range away, for instance, or a brush pile, so that I can position myself stealthily to sneak up on it. But once I anchor lock over a brush pile, what I like to do is zoom in. And it's as simple as on the touch screen, being able to push the minus plus buttons here, and I'm actually moving it down on the minus deal to zoom in more. And I like to get it at about 25 to 30 feet is be the distance that I like to position in. And that's going to give me a very definitive idea exactly how far away that brush pile is. From there, you'll also notice I've got a grid overlay. And you can see all the different numbers there. As you zoom in, that grid overlay will go to 2 to 4, 2 feet sizes. As you zoom out and go further, that grid overlay will be 5-foot variances there. And 5 foot, when you're out like that and you see a big gar swimming there, you're like, man, if he fills the whole screen, you're looking at a 5 or 6 foot gar. As you zoom in, what this can also tell you, and you get to those 2-foot deals, well, 2 feet is 24 inches. If the fish fills that whole deal, we've got a 24-inch fish down there. And the detail of these units is so great, you can even begin to tell and identify the species based on their fins, their actions, and what they're doing and how they relate to the cover. That's how impressive the Garmin LiveScope unit is in detail manners to be able to tell you what you're looking at and even what direction the fish are swimming. We're over this brush pile, and you can see it as our trolling motor moves into position in different spots right here. And gain is something that I really want to talk about a lot here. For me personally, I use gain in that 68 to 75 position a lot. You can do it manually and you can do it in auto, and I think those are really important things to always keep in mind when you're looking at here. And when you look at the different positions and what you get, the more that you move it up and down to find that sweet spot, the better you're going to be. I mean, right now we're looking at fish that are actually literally swimming right under the boat One's about 10 feet out in front of us, and they're keeper-sized fish without question. And as you gain that down and eliminate some of that noise, you're going to lose that ability to see some of those targets. For me personally, I want to see the smallest target I can. I want to be able to see that drop shot. I want to be able to see a minnow if I'm crappie fishing. I want to be able to look at a bluegill. I want to see those little fish, because where the little fish are, I'm going to find some big ones. So being able to identify and see those targets is very, very important to me, whether you run it in auto or run it manually like I do most of the time. Your sonar settings when it comes to LiveScope are really, really important. We'll talk about appearance first. You know, appearance is basically the different color palettes that you can look at. And there's a lot of different ones: amber, copper, black emerald, midnight blue, orange crawfish. And each one of them that you hit is going to give you a different look and a different feel to exactly what's going on below you. Now, for me personally, I first started with pretty much an amber on LiveScope, so I've trained my eye. That's the one I like the best. Now, there's going to be other people out there that are going to like different types of colors, different color palettes, and you've just got to find what works exactly best for you. Bottom fill is another unique feature here. When you turn it on, you can kind of see that it's a little more brown and dark right there, and when you turn it off, it'll give you a much more aggressive brightness to it. I like to have it off personally. That way I can tell what I'm looking at on the bottom. I know the composition a little better, because that's kind of where I started with. You as a fisherman, once again, the more time you use it, you're going to find more benefits to what that bottom fill gives you.